So a person asked me, is it chayiv to sign up or not chayiv to sign up? The Alter Rebbe Paskin is a Shulchan Aruch Shemish Bedinik Niske Guva Nefesh Siv Zayin. First paragraph. A person sees his friend Rachmana litzlan drowning. Or listim boimalov. V'yochel hatziloi hu be'atzmo. Or lisker acherim latziloi. He could save him, or he could hire people to save him. Chayiv litroyach v'lisker latziloi v'choyzev v'nifra mimenu. He has chayiv, and then he could go the mitzad the money. He can later pay, he has to pay back. The person who was saved has to pay back. Im yeshla. V'imlav lo yimna. If he knows the guy can't pay him back, he shouldn't hold himself back, thinking that he won't be able to get paid for it. He has to hire a boat, or he has to hire whatever it is. So he shouldn't hold back just because of that. V'imlav lo yimna. V'imnimna oivra lo yitamad al dam reyecha. V'afilu likonas besofek sakona. What happens if someone's in danger? You could save their life, but you yourself are going to go into danger. That you're chayiv to help him. If he is for sure going to die, by you it's a suffix. So you're chayiv to help him. That those that disagree. What's out there? Suffix nefashos lahakel. So you're not chayiv to go put yourself in danger to save someone's life, even if he's going to die bevadai. And by you it's a suffix. It's a machloikis, and this is a very loaded sugya because it has a lot of ethical Sheilos involved there. So we're not going to cover all the things today, but there is in Lakuta Sichos Chelik Chavches I found that the Rebbe discusses it. The Rebbe says that you see the Achro, the Alter Rebbe wrote in brackets. Why did the Alter Rebbe write in brackets? Why it's not so important? It's not so important Shaila. That's why. B'chlal, you should know a Klal Godel the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. Brackets doesn't mean that it's not so important. Brackets means Sheilos Yehuda said Chotzi Eagle. Chotzi Eagle. Chotzi Eagle means Chotzi Eagle is that he wanted to think about it again. Okay, but the Rebbe brings this shit. So the Rebbe holds that it was something he wanted to think about. The Rebbe brings it lagabe the question that the Frierdiker Rebbe came out of jail in Yud Beis Tammuz. The first mime he said was Hashem li ba'oizrei. And when he came home, he said Baruch HaGoimel. The Rebbe asked, what was the first mime? It's like a funny mimer. It says that it's actually this year's Rebbe's kapitel. Hashem li ba'oizrei ani Rebbe soinei. What was it? Hashem li ba'oizrei. So the Frierdiker Rebbe asks in the mimer, we mean Hashem li ba'oizrei. Hashem is one of my oizrim. Oh, pshat, that when a person does avodas habirurim, those are his oizrim. The people that really help you, those are those that you're mevarer. And that he asked that Hashem li ba'oizrim, the Yud Kei Vav Kei should shine in all the oizrim. Why did the Frierdiker Rebbe say punkt this maimer the day he was let free? So the Rebbe says like this: Moire de kavort. It's a shaila if you're chayiv to put yourself in a suffix sakona when someone else is in sakona. So there was a lot of Yidden that put themselves into unbelievable danger to get the Frierdiker Rebbe released. The KGB had their mindset and what they want to do. So for the higher echelons in government to twist the hand of the KGB was like it's
suicide.
It's unheard of. That, as you know, Putin today is not going to get involved. The KGB decides they want to do something. Now there's a story in Israel. Not Ishkait, but the Russians, that's just the way they are. Yeah. So it's.
They say she's getting free.
It's very tough with the Russians.
No.
Only for sure Putin's not saying.
הוא יביא אותה איתו כשהובא לישראל.
Between us, Lubavitch wanted to help and told the mother to be quiet, and she wasn't quiet, she went to the media.
Exactly.
It's not so simple.
You don't make protests, even today.
The Rebbe said that, to be quiet.
Right.
And they wanted to.
They could have helped her out. There was a lot of Yidden that put their life on the line, not only from a Yidden. There were Yidden that were in the Communist Party that put their life on the line, and they were Matzliach. The Frierdiker Rebbe, the first thing he was concerned about when he was left free is that these Yidden that put their life in Mesiras Nefesh to get him free, and now the KGB will retaliate against them. It was a big sakona for them. So therefore the Friedrich Rebbe said a maimer, because it wollte auftan durch Teure. That Hashem liebe Oizre. Really, the Ezer comes from the Eibishter. So it's the Eibishter's responsibility to save the Oizrim. And the Rebbe says that there's a Dvar Pella that no one talks about in the Gula of the Friedrich Rebbe, that no one, from all the people that helped, Saigoyim, Sayyidin, from a Yidin, not from a Yidin, that helped the Friedrich Rebbe, were not nizik from it. Which is a Dvar Pella. And the Rebbe says because the Friedrich Rebbe is aufgetan durch Sagen der Maimer Hashem liebe Oizre. Therefore, it's important to say Goyim al Baruch HaGoyim, but that's a personal. But the first thing he said was the Maimer Hashem libe Oizer. Al Kaponim, back to our Shaila, if a person should go under the knife, it's a sakona, no question. There's no question. Today doctors love to call things, instead of surgery, they used to call it surgery. Today they love to call it a procedure. Procedure. You know, it's like you're extracting a tooth. It's a procedure. There's no such thing as a procedure. It's a sakona, and therefore it's taka machloikis. And you see that the Rebbe is conflicted about it. The Rebbe makes to point out that it's not so posh to be makel about this, but Lepoil, the Alter Rebbe says, Sofik, you're not obligated. Versteht sich that someone that puts his life on the line to save another Yid, it's not Stam Tova Lebrocha, but this is the biggest chus that there could be, to save another Yid's life, is Kol HaMakayim Nefesh Achas Mi Yisrael.
יש ביצים במדינה.
One second. Before the Shpala Zayt, let's finish the Shaila, otherwise we'll be here till tomorrow morning. So, an interesting Shaila from Rav Eliashiv. So there was a woman that had a pregnancy of multiple babies. This week's Parsha of Bnei Yisrael, part of the Yishur of Vayatzma, Moed Moed, Yod Shisha Bekeres Eser. She had triplets, and one of the baby had a critical problem. The doctor said the only way they could help the problem is by doing a C-section. Now she was in week 27 of her pregnancy. Week 27, and you take out the babies, there are very high Rachmana litzlan chances that the baby will chas v'shalom be blind, or other terrible defects, brain damage that could be, that will suffer the entire life. So the two babies that are good, they have very high chances that the rest of their life, Rachmana litzlan, they'll have severe problems. The one baby that is going to benefit from this, otherwise it's definitely going to die. So option number one is to do a C-section, and all three live, but the other two have a big risk. And option number two is to let the situation go. One baby is definitely going to die, and the other two are going to, Mitzvah Shem, come to full term. Rabbi Yasha Paskin, the Chev Al Tasa Odev, they should not do a C-section and let the baby die. He said like this: there's just like we just had.
There were two babies inside.
Three babies. Three babies.
Were they good? Were they healthy?
Two are healthy. Great. One has a problem. So
they wanted to do the pre-birth and look for the one baby that wasn't doing well.
Yes, but all three are going to come out. You can't tell the other two to stay in there.
Right.
So that one's is definitely going to die if you do
if
C-section.
they leave him inside.
If they leave him inside. Now,
anyway, once they take out a baby that has a miscarriage, they have to open up.
Not miscarriage. There's not going to be a miscarriage.
The baby dies inside.
27 weeks.
Do they have to take the baby out, or it stays in there?
It stays. Well, the baby was not dead yet. It wasn't dead. It wasn't dead.
No, I'm saying that if the baby's going to deteriorate, eventually it's going to probably die.
So I don't know. I guess the issue was they didn't think that it's going to die that imminently, but it's going to die eventually. Maybe it'll die by week 36, 37. They'll do a C-section then. They'll take it out. Or be stillborn. Akaponim. Right after we finish, I'll give you a bit. So he brings from the Rikanti that a person is chayev to lose a hand, l'moshel, to save another yid. So Lamazogin, he sees that another yid is that his life is in danger. He'll lose a hand, but he'll save the other person's life. The Rikanti says it's not only chayev that you should go into a sofek sakona, but also if you're vada, you're going to lose an aver, you're chayiv to lose the aver, because that's the mitzvah of loy tamad al dam reyacha. So said that Rav Eliashiv like this. He said, imagine like this: there is a person that's in need of a kidney. If he doesn't get a kidney, he's going to die in a very short time. You would like to give him a kidney, but you're not a match. But you know someone out there that is a match. So you'll say it's the mitzvah loy tamad al dam reyacha, and he's not interested in donating his kidney. So what's the big deal? It's the mitzvah loy tamad al dam reyacha. You'll tie up his hands and his feet. You put duct tape on his mouth, and you'll sedate him. You'll take out the kidney. Ayala ladas do such a thing. No, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why lo yala ladas? Why not? Because the mitzvah lo tamad al damriecha is on that person, not on you. You're not a god. Mitzvah lo tamad al damriecha is on that person. If he doesn't paskin like the rekanti, or if he does paskin, or if it's called a poiskim, it's his mitzvah. Same thing here. If the mother said Rav Eliyashiv is going to do this to C-section, so she's making a decision on the behalf of the two babies that are healthy and are viable, and the pashas are going to be born, and they could see, and they could hear, and they have no problem with their brain, v'chulu in their heart, they have no defects, and she is now, on their behalf, deciding that they maybe are going to lose their eyesight, Rachmana litzlan, in order to say she has no right to make this decision. Anyway, that was his psak. Lamaisa, the person that asked me, I told him he doesn't have a chiyuv to go sign up to give his kidney. But nochamal, if a person is gonna give a kidney to another yid, tovel of brocha, and there's no question that kol hamakayim nefesh achetz misrol kila kayim olam molek.
We could have put this also in Parsha Miketz. The common. What right did she have to give up her baby's lives?
That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question.
So what was it? So the psak is that you're not allowed to take to do a C-section for the one baby that's no good.
That's what he said. Yeah.
It's just like taking an aver off of the other two.
Right. Yeah. You're making a decision for the other babies. He said.
But it's not a Bari Hezeka.
Right.
It's not a Vadai Hezeka.
Apparently, it was in that case that 27 weeks is a very strong thing. Kids that are born 27 are very high chance that.
Yeah, once you rupture the womb, that's it.
It's a 6 month. She's 6 months, so she's 2/3 into her young. So that's.
I guess statistics show that
not 2/3. 29 weeks is minimum for full viability. 27 weeks is still on the border.
It's still a something, right? But I'm saying, but they can still.
The other two sakana, according to medical.
But one's vade, she's a vade going to die inside the womb.
right.
The other two are only something if they'll come out of the womb. It's a vade and something. So
That was a tough one.
but it's not the same thing. What he's saying.
No, there was a separate thing. I was talking about what the Alter Rebbe Paskin. Then
What's the Rabbi Yashiv Paskins I'm saying?
Yeah.
That in one's vade, it's a vade. You're going to take off a limb of the other two.
Right.
But why is that a vade?
It's a good point.
It's not a vada. It's a high chance.
High chance, but it's not vade. But if vade, the baby's going to die. I'd say if I care, the baby inside, if they don't take it out, is going to die. The other two are only suffering if they're going to die.
Or something they'll lose an aver.
It's not her mother's choice. The baby has rights.
It's not a choice.
There's no way to know.
He's saying it's not the same choice. It's
It looks that way.
What's that, Marsov? But if all three kids are born and one of them dies within the first week, there isn't shiva anyway. You don't sit shiva for it.
Right.
It's
But
not,
still,
not a viable. It's not a viable.
okay, but still, the decision. So the other one is not. It's
abortion
it's
is
apples
still
to
a death.
apples.
It's still murder.
No, I'm saying if they're all born normally, but one dies after a week.
True. But still, it's apples to apples. It's still, there has to be a tiebreaker.
Who said that this baby's gonna? They said it looks like this baby only chance for survival.
Right. So again, it's apples to apples. It's also good. Right. Exactly. It's apples to apples. Exactly. It's all right. That's why it's apples to apples. Right. A woman asked the Shaila. She says she always has this problem. The din is, as I said before, the Achok Sheilos I'm not going to deal with today because we'll deal with it on Wednesday night. But this is a different Shaila that a woman asked. She's always uncomfortable. The Shulchan Aruch says that the day she goes to mikveh, she shouldn't eat any meat. So it's like uncomfortable. First of all, she makes supper for the family. So she can't. So a few questions. First of all, is chicken the same din as meat? Shulchan Aruch says you're not allowed to eat meat on the day you go to the mikveh. Could you eat chicken? Number one. Number two.
Chicken's not the same.
It sticks in your teeth.
No,
Meat
how you
sticks in your
chef the
teeth.
chicken is different than
Chicken doesn't stick as much.
So
You see that the whole issue of 6 hours was by meat, not by chicken.
Correct.
So the second question was, like, what should she do in sticky situation? It's like it's basically you're telling the kids that if there are girls in the house, they're older kids, the teenagers in the house, or she's by the shviga and or she's a oira ayirachas. So there are people around the table that are not dumb. You know, you have a 5-year-old boy, versteht nicht, why the mother doesn't want to eat anything of the meat that night. But the shviga does understand, right? She's uncomfortable. It's like Indian and sneers. Could she be makel?
If your shviga's coming.
She's in the shviga's house.
Nobody figures out when you're going to the mikveh.
That worked out.
What the meat to do with the mikveh?
Kash on the mice, he's saying kash on the
What's the meat to do with the mikveh?
Oh,
Kash on the mice.
now you'll find out. Now you'll find out.
Kash on the mice, I think.
Never knew that.
Pasuk b'Shulchan Aruch, fourth paragraph. Pasuk b'Shulchan Aruch. Yoyde de kuf tzadik ches sif chav dalet. Yesh noigim shelo lechel basa b'yam lechtel beis hatfila. There are those that are noig, they don't eat meat in the day they go to the mikveh. Mipnei shu nichnas bein hashanayim yoysem b'may chalach. It goes into the teeth more than any other food. Even though they check the teeth and they floss the teeth, they clean the teeth, doesn't matter. Maybe a piece of meat will stay between the teeth, and she won't realize, and it's a chatzitz in the tefillah. The Shulchan Aruch says it's a minhag yofa. The Taz says right off the top, very important halacha. B'Shabbos v'Yom Tov, haminhag she'oichlin basar, rak she'tizoer l'naker b'yoyser akari kain. Shabbos v'Yom Tov, she could eat meat. She could eat meat Shabbos v'Yom Tov, but she'll be very careful to floss her teeth very carefully afterwards.
Floss Friday night, or
There's a lot of dam if you really want to floss properly.
So she has to do it in a way that's already a separate shaila. It's a Shabbos shaila.
These picks are very good.
She should. That's another shaila. Yeah, there's eitzes. Yeah, she should do eitzes. Definitely one eitzes is that she should make sure to floss early in the day many times. Okay, you do if you floss your teeth very, very well, all the blood comes out, and then 15 minutes later or an hour later you're going to floss again, it's usually not going to come out down. That's my eitzah. That's my eitzah. Very simple eitzah. That's the truth is depends. This is not for America. Yeah, in America it's not. The shaila is not so relevant. What you just said, it's more in Europe because like this. In America, Shabbos, even in the summer, how late is Shabbos already? So how late is Shabbos already? So she can go to the mikveh and then have the meal afterwards.
No, we're talking about Yom Tov. The Yom Tov. It's a 2-day Yom Tov.
Even this shaila is really more in England and France, where in the summer, Tzeisak Echovim is 11 o'clock. I can't in the Suda, no Lubavitchers, I'm a shigga, but the Normala mention, they don't start the Suda 12 midnight, like Lubavitchers, right? So they take in Shabbos and Yom Tov early, they have the Suda early. So what should the woman do? So everyone's eating meat, she's not eating. So first of all, besides not looking good, but so the Shabbos v'Yom Tov, that has some flesh. Right. So for there is the whole eitzah with the flossing. But in America, b'derech klal, especially in Lubavitch, b'derech klal, Suda Shabbos v'Yom Tov, the woman has already had gone to the mikveh before. So your shaila is only if the mikveh is Motzah Shabbos. You understand? So it's not going to be a problem with the flossing. Okay. Next. Let's read a little weiter. Huh?
Vegetarian is not a
No problem vegetarian.
What about popcorn?
Popcorn. It depends. The Shulchan Aruch doesn't say a word about popcorn. And the Shulchan Aruch, as you see soon why. Someone just said a svara. Someone said a true svara. You know the story Sheilos, Terapolo, all the jokes there. He took some of the meat out of the pot. He took some of the chicken out of the pot out of Shabbos. He was so hungry. So his father said to us, Aganav, you took some of the meat for Shabbos. He said, no, Neshtemas, I didn't take any of the meat. You took the meat, I didn't take it. I said, Befedish a posuk, I didn't take any meat. It says in the posuk, Vesatzipur loy basar. Chicken is not meat. Vesatzipur loy basar. Chicken is not meat. As I state, Befedish a posuk. So, l'cha'oida, exactly, spelled a little different. So, l'cha'oida, chicken, when it comes to basar b'cholav, chicken is only the rabbanon. So one would say that's a very big difference. So I was thinking about this, and then a mamash is like a light bulb went on. So what's taka the mocha for this issur? So the Gemara says two words there. For the women that they don't eat meat on the day they go to the mikveh.
What's the marker?
Yeah.
Oh, in the Torah.
In the Torah, they have the minhag of the women of Yiddish im lav nevias b'nei nevias. Women are not stam. Yiddish women are not stam doing things. Right. They're doing things must have a mocker in the Torah.
But it's a minhag, right?
Right. So why can't it be a minhag d'Rabbanan? In the Torah. Oh, you
we try our best. The Gemara is brilliant. He always found something.
Yeah.
So here he said he found the Befedish Gemara for the women. He says two words. He says ayin Gemara. Reish Perek Ches the Chulin, V'ayin Agoas Ashri. And over there it's a beferish Gemara. It's talking very clear. The Gemara says like this: Amar le'Reb Acha bar Yosef le'Reb Chizda. The Gemara before that says, are you allowed to eat gvina acha basar? The Gemara says also, are you allowed to eat basar acha gvina? The Gemara says mutter. Because of
hard cheese or any cheese?
We're not talking about hard cheese, lamazang. Right now we'll talk about regular cheese. So the Gemara says that, but the Gemara continues. Amar le'Reb Acha le'Reb Yosef le'Reb Chizda. Reb Acha bar Yosef le'Reb Chizda. Basar sheben hashanayim ma'u. How about the basar that's between your teeth? So he said, the pasuk says, and the Eibishter killed them while the basar was the story of the slav. The story of the slav. We're going to have the slav in a few weeks, in 2 weeks in the Parsha, right? So what's the slav? So tell me, what's the slav? What was the slav? What kind of animal was it? Who told you it's a bird?
Look like birds.
Huh? Rashi says it's min oif v'shamen ma'oid. And the Gemara says that a slav, if you broil it, it gives out so much fat that after you take it out of the broiler, if you take 13 loaves of bread and you put it on the top, the bottom loaf of bread is so full of schmaltz. You can lick your fingers. It's maybe that's why they died.
This is not the same as our chicken.
No, totally different. But upon him, we see from here, Mordecai Karaya. The whole thing, how we know that all the between Shiraim is Basar is from Slav. Slav is the Chan Oif. Slav is the Chan Amin Oif.
Ukrainian
fat. The fat is the pieces of meat. If you want to be machalik between the slav and there's 4 types of slav. The Gemara says, Elamai is the charaya that chicken is no different. The emes is like this. There's an interesting machloikis. Machloikis Rishonim. It's brought in Yeridei and Pei Tes. The din. What's the din? Shulchan Aruch says the bottom line. The din is what happens if you waited 6 hours after meat, and then you find in your tooth a piece of meat. You're about to eat cheese, you find a piece. So the din is you have to floss your teeth and rinse your mouth. Okay, do I have to wait another 6 hours or not? The Ran says no. The Ran says no. The Ran says no. No,
because it's already degraded.
The Ran says no.
It's not mini anymore.
So here there's a machloikis. The Tur brings a machloikis Rishonim. If you find the meat in your teeth after 6 hours, what's the din? A machloikis Rashi and Rambam. What's the machloikis? Why do you have to wait 6 hours? Some say because it's 2 reasons. Machloikis Rashi and Rambam. Some say the reason is those that you learn here today. Some say it's because the shuman, because you're going to burp that shuman, and the other says no, because the basar shebein hashinayim. Now, what's the nafkamina? So there's several nafkaminas. One of the nafkamina is that if you say that you were waiting 6 hours for the basar shebein hashinayim, then obviously after the 6 hours, it's bottle, it's nothing, it's not consider anything.
Broke it down,
it's nothing. But according to the other opinion, that says that the reason is you're going to burp some of the fat of the meat. And the Gemara later continues, it says, how about the basar shinayim? And the Gemara says, a basar ben shinayim is also after the 6 hours, and that's what we're passing in Shulchan Aruch. Even after 6 hours, you should take it out. Elamai, you don't have to wait more time. So, same thing like having the woman.
I know it's a side question. It's okay, I can answer. If you have the Matthias says there's always meat between the teeth, unless you have perfect teeth. If you don't have perfect teeth, there's always meat that's between your teeth, even the next morning.
Right.
Yeah, you find a kaseda. When you flush your teeth, you see there's meat there from 18 hours later.
Sure.
Vegetarianism.
So what's this? What's the happening to think that it's because the meat ben shinayim is still has a charge of basar? If we know, but why did Chazal make it mechuyev? Then you mechuyev to clean your teeth after you eat meat. It doesn't say anywhere that you have to clean your teeth after you eat meat. They should make that. They should have made that isser to prove that it's. To show that it is the basar. The one who holds that it's because of the basar, that the basar still has a chalois. They should have made you wash. It's
a good kasha. It's a good kasha, Taka. But the lepoil, that's a very strong shita. It's not stam. That's a very strong shit, and it's brought in the Tur, and it's brought in Shulchan Aruch. I mean, this is not...
I know, I'm okay.
I hear you. You're asking a klotz kasha. You're saying, I don't understand. Why shouldn't there be a chiv to floss your teeth?
Exactly.
Just like there's a chiv chatzitza.
Just like a woman. She has to floss her teeth. This is the same deraisa. This is the deraisa Basar Challah. Even a mashu is Basar Challah.
It's not the rice. It's not the rice.
Basar Challah?
Only if it's cooked together.
Only if it's
cooked together.
Not if you eat together.
You're right.
Buy the sandwich.
Right. Okay, but it could fall out. You could sneeze and it could go into your macaroni and cheese. You can sneeze into the cheese. There's a new mitzvah. No sneeze in the cheese.
What's in the basic?
I'm saying, you can sneeze.
Yeah, but if he has it in his teeth and he eats meat, it's the rabbanon.
I have meat in my teeth 24 hours.
Meat in your mouth.
All the day, I'm sneezing into my
No, it's
cheese.
the rabbanon. Why? Because it wasn't cooked together.
If it's bishul, is it the bishul?
But it has to first be mevushal.
Chila means only if there was a bishul together would put that piece
Yeah.
One of those cooked separately. So
Not a
it's
problem.
midiraisa?
Not mederaisa.
So if I cook in one pot cheese and in one pot meat and I eat it together, it's not midiraisa?
No, it's the rabbanon.
Really?
Yeah. That's it's the
Don't
rabbanon.
get any ideas. Don't
Don't
get
get
any
cheesy.
good you
Don't
came here
get cheesy
today.
on us.
Make sure he doesn't do it.
He's a shliach. What are you talking?
Okay.
Shaliach can do it.
Anyway, Lamaisa, I think there's no coolest to say after 6 hours.
Right, it has to be more fun.
Because, just like in your day, and there's another reason why not to be makel, because the Shulchan Aruch says it bistam. The stam, so a Parsha, it's meat and it's chicken and it's entire day, like the minig noshim. That's the way the din is. Shulchan Aruch. There's the ay lechoyre shis shemtzich. So very interesting thing. Let's look at the next paragraph. Sagt der Ramah in Yore Deis im Kuf Tzadek Ches, Simen Mem Ches. Yesh kotsu sheish liisha liis tzenua beleil tvilasa. V'chei noagu anoshim lahastir leil tvilasam. Shaloi leilach b'mohuma abifnei abriyash. Shaloi yagishu memnei adam. To be very tzenu in the night of the tefillah, not to go in a way that people should realize. No one should know she's going to the mikveh. U'mishein oisakein, a woman that's not noig this way. Nemar oleh, for her it said, Orur shoichev im behema. She's like a behema.
No,
Where do we
worse
do
than
it?
that. Worse than the behemoth.
That's what Ramah says.
Sleeping with a behemoth.
Yeah, the husband is sleeping now with a behema.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So the Gemara writes, where's the mocker? So the Gemara again found a mocker for this. Unbelievable. Gemara in Eidevin. Amr Yehuda Amar Rav Yoshveit Serifim v'holchim midbariyos chayein einam chayim u'neshayim uvneim einam shalahem. Those people, the holchim midbariyos, the nomads, they go with tents, they go from here to there. That's not a life to live. And you should know their children is lavdafka their children. They don't realize it, but their children is lavdafka their children. Why? Tanya Ramachi, Rabbi Lazish Biri Omer Ish Tzrifin Kreish Vekvar. V'Abnei Seima Omer Oruv Shoich V'Kol Behema. Their daughters are like if you marry their daughters, it's like marrying a behema. My time. Why? Ula Omer She'en Le'em Marchatzos. There's no merchatz for the husbands. So once a month for it, they have to bathe. So they travel 20 miles to go bathe. In the meantime, all the wives are alone in the tents, and comes the Adam Rasha was a noyif, and he's noyif with their wives, and then they don't even realize that children are not their children. Exactly. Because they're living together in a little community in a tent, so when a woman has to be toivel, everyone knows. So what's the problem? Everyone knows. So there could be one of them that's an Adam Rasha. He's not such a big Rasha that he's going to sleep with a woman as a Nida. He's a shtikla tzaddik too. So he's not going to sleep. He's sleep with an Ashes Ish, but not while she's a Nida. So.
The Gemara says, "Do you have Tisha B'Av?" There was a manuf that she said, "You don't even have Tisha B'Av for afterwards."
Right. Exactly. So here, there could be a Rasha that he knows that they're going to Tefillah, and then he's noyef with the women. And the Agosa, she says, L'chein noagu hanoshim, that they're very tsanua, and no one should know when is Leil Tefillah. The Akitshuva brings an unbelievable tshuva from the Maria Asad, the Talmud, the Chassam Sofer. He's a woman that had a grocery store. And everyone knew her in town. Like in Kranitz, you remember that corner, Rifki's grocery store. Now it's Koltuver. Everyone knew Rifki's grocery store. So Mamela comes one day, and it's in the winter, it's 4 o'clock, it's about Shkia, and she says, okay, I gotta lock up. Once a month.
I'll come take over for it.
It's 4 o'clock.
He's in Manhattan.
No, he used to come to the store all the time.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay. So she locks up. So she asked the Maria Assad that she was worried that people chap once a month. She closes the shop 4:30. Usually the shop is open till late. And then one night she's kicking out all the customers early. So the Maria said, "You're right. It's also for you to toivel and the Leil Tefillah. You should do it Friday night."
That's very strange because you can push her off from having kids because of that.
It's a very strange thing. It's not. It's a certain style of. I don't want to. Oh, so are those that argue with it?
She was a real chachemist.
There are those that argue.
Change their patterns and throw people off.
There are those that argue. However, the Darkei Tshuva says that you see from this. He says that that the Inyan is not a tznius question. The tznius question is a separate thing. The question is if an Odom Rosha will follow her. My nafkemina. He says there's some women that ask him this shaila, the following shaila. The women say that they're in the mother-in-law's house, Me'est Kes, the first year, and the mother-in-law is serving meat, and they're very uncomfortable. Because if the mother-in-law Gita says, Yenti, here I cooked for you, and they put in front of her a plate of meat, and Yenti always loves meat. And tonight, she made the best Hungarian goulash, and Yenti pushes it away. It's Leil Tvila Shaifele. So what should we do? So the dark.
I'll call the mother-in-law Yente.
Good point.
The butcher's also Yente.
So the Dr. Darkei Tshuva doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your mother-in-law is not an Odom Rosha, and they're bias, and your daughter. It doesn't matter. So there's a little bit of busha. Who cares? There's no Odom Rosha involved over here. I'm telling you, this shaila is an interesting thing because we're learning in Mitzvah Wednesday night about harchokas. A lot of times people make a mistake with harchokas. Harchokas are very difficult to keep because sometimes women even think that it's not so tznius. So maybe it could be makel a little bit with harchokas because it's not tznius. Because if you're really keeping all the harchokas, so if there are older children in the house or other people around, they could realize, even if you tried a little bit b'matashtish, that you always keep certain things. But it's very hard for people not to notice when you're on and off. So a person will think that it could be makel a little bit in the achokas because for it is the chadin and tznius. So from this Darkei Tshuva we learn that's not true. It's not true. It's not true. The fact that the women are tzanua, that they go b'tefillah quietly is because of an Odom Rosha. But when you're talking about your family, so that's not a din tznius. It's a busha. It's not shtokin busha. To keep the mitzvahs of the Rebbeinu Shalom, there's no busha in keeping the Rebbeinu Shalom's mitzvahs. The Eibishter gave us 630 mitzvahs, and he gave Chazal the koyach to make special takonas. And Chazal made special takonas of Achokis, and we have to keep it. And that's chus we have bonim tamid chachomim and bonim hogonim, and we don't have to be worried about the busha. Whatever.
The Schwede time zufrieden, da steht so nach Heinekel.
I think the average woman is not thinking that way. The average woman is quite uncomfortable with this. But listen,
Rabbi, I got a question. My older sister, she's a balanit, taking care of the mikveh in Rehovot for maybe 50 years. Now, I used to go to Shabbat. Friday night, we go to shul, we come from shul, we're all waiting maybe half an hour. I didn't understand why. Everybody take a book, learning. She's in Marmoret, she has to go to Chovot to open for a woman the mikveh. She opened the mikveh and then she has to walk back 45 minutes.
Wow.
Now we're all waiting. My question, I never asked it, but are we allowed to delay that even for this woman? Because we're 10 people waiting now to eat. And we're not eating, right? Not make giddush.
Yeah, listen, the Gemara says that people are learning now, Daf Yomi. The Gemara says in the beginning of Brochus that David HaMelech said that his biggest chus is that Yodai Meluchlochas Bedam Shapir V'Shalya Lahatit Isha Labayla. The poskim all say that the diuk is that he worked hard Lahatir Isha Labayla. He always wanted to be Matir Isha Labayla. It's considered Bechlal in the Svarim HaKadoshim one of the biggest chusim when you're matir a woman that because you never know. You never know. That night could be the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu. And B'chlal, every
only had
edition,
one mother, Moshe
right?
Rabbeinu.
Exactly. So V'meila.
And the nice thing is, all her boys and girls, all Talmidei Chachamim, Talmidei Chachamim, 7 or 8 kids, all of them are Talmidei Chachamim.
Because they all waited. They were saying they were learning because of the Torah. They were learning for that half hour.
Unbelievable. I was waiting.
Most people Friday night they go to sleep after the Sunnah. They get tired. They eat the net.
And they're all learning.
Should we do the last Shaila?
Of course.
Okay.
What's the
Okay.
Shaila?
A few weeks ago we had the question of pizza. So someone brought me this sefer. And someone said the befedish against what I said. I'll read to you. It's true. It's befedish against what I said. The bracha.
I think the person said it in a much more respectful way.
Oh, okay, right. The bracha requirement of regular pizza not made with fruit juice can vary from country to country. In places where most people eat pizza for a meal, hamoitzi and benching are required. However, where most people eat pizza as a snack, then Voeiro mine mezonos and alamichya is required. Okay. So
It'll make different how much
I'd
you
like
eat
you
as a
to.
snack.
Yeah, I want you to read.
What's his marker?
See, I'm going to show you his marker. His marker is like this. Pasuk b'Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch says, Pashtida. Pashtida is a meat Wellington, a meat knish.
Meat pot pie.
Meat pie.
Mitkanish.
Call them meat pies.
Meat pie.
Thank you.
Hanefa betanur, but it has to be with meat and dogon. Hanefa betanur, bebasar bedogim or begvina, mevorech olah amoitzi ubirkas hamaz. Oh, the Magen Avram says, why? He says, Loi domi lapas kisnin shahu lekinuach v'tainuk. The Magen Avram says, why? Even though if it was a pocket full of apples, it's mezonos, but the pocket is meat, and the meat is not lekinuach v'tainuk, so therefore, it's hamoitzi gomer. The Taz argues. The Taz says, Sfira leishu kepas kisnin, really it's mamash like pas kisnin. The Shulchan Aruch Meiri, ba'achel kedei kviyasuda, he ate, say, more than 4 beitzim and sava. He ate a lot and he was sava. The Mishnah Berurah writes like this, Nida poshut, the imasuin, the kikin dakin. He made these little cookies, and mu'urav behem psisin shel basar, little pieces of meat, v'nikir, and it's very noticeable, she'ein asuyim ki'im likinuach achasud, that's made as a dessert.
Sambusa.
Maybe, yeah. Dinoi, mamish kepas shemu'urav bepedis, u'bishar minim mesika. It's just like an apple strudel, and it's Voeiro minim mezonos. So from this is kosa b'sefer hilchas brachas that Rav Badner in the order. I just read the English. I'm reading you now the order. The mishum hachi pizza, regular pizza with flour and water is mezonos. Is mezonos. If it's a snack, he says, and he even says that from Goen Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach Shamati. Shepizza, kiven sheberetz Yisrael loichel noisnal pirev lesauda mevorchen amoitzi berchas hamazon. Shalti eich lasas ba'artzes habris shekosha leida oifen achilosa she'arba anoshim oichlin pizza letaino kechativ veloi lesauda u'mekom mokem yesh oichlin pizza beiker lesauda u'pasak shebemekoimes ke'artzes habris tolui bedas kol echad v'yechad. That's what he says. That's what he says. Reb Shlomo Zalman said. If it's true that Reb Shlomo Zalman said so, he's entitled to the opinion, but it's wrong anyway. But there's several reasons for it. Number one, it's totally in every person. He says depends why you're eating the pizza for a snack.
What's your intent?
We don't understand.
You'll hear my reasoning, and you'll know. And it could be I'm wrong. But no, there's 4 nakudas. I'll say I go through it very quickly. Number one is the Alter Rebbe says. The Alter Rebbe says befedish when he talks about this, he says that in this machloikis, he says the Taz holds as long as it's a pocket, doesn't matter. But he says the other opinion holds. It depends what you put inside. If it's peidish or shapiroiv is eaten as a pleasure, so it turns that pocket into mezonos. But if you're putting inside fish or meat, which al pi roiv b'nei adam are eating it for lelafas behemes apas. So what you're doing today is not negay. It's bot l'daita eitzel kol adam. It's not negay what you're thinking today. Usually, meat and fish is brought for a Suda, you decided today it's not for a Suda, that's number one. The Alter Rebbe says it's befedish. Furthermore, the Alter Rebbe in the Shulchan Aruch says that a pocket has to be, if it's made for sweetness, lekinuach, for dessert, or letainu. In the Siddur, he changed his mind, and he said it's not enough, it's kinuach Suda. It has to be leidun uletainu hamesikus. Leidun uletainu hamesikus. Now, don't tell me that these meat things or pizza is made leidun vetainu hamesikus.
Sweet.
Don't exactly. Hakmanish in China.
A lot of people put ketchup on the pizza.
And the ketchup has a lot of sugar in it. The truth. I know you got to be careful with that. But it's still. Don't tell me this is made leidun letainug hamesikus. Another Inyan. The Mishnah Berurah says befedish has to be nikir she'ein asuyim kein lekinuach. Has to be nikir that it's made lekinuach.
That's to look like it.
Do you think the American pizza looks different than the Israeli pizza?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
2.5 times the size.
First of all, the Israeli pizza, they smear it with rotov. They have this rotov.
It's smaller.
It looks like Italian.
I don't know.
There it's smaller. Here's bigger for shirts.
They're gigantic.
Okay. We can argue with this.
Anyone that eats pizza in Israel for a Suda really eats it for a Suda because it's not as tasty.
And my last taina is that there's a big difference between kinuach suda and a chatif, which is a snack. The Gemara says that the Yidden, when they went out of Mitzrayim, hoyim menakrim ketar negoyim. They used to eat. Moshe Rabbeinu said that this is that's not a menschlich way. They were eating snacks all day. They were eating every. So he said, no, we're not grazing anymore. We get kavalem zman suda. Kavalem zman suda. That's it. So now when I ask you, zwei sudas, that's it. No three, zwei sudas. Okay, we can recalibrate, we can make 3 sudas, but not to graze all day. So I want to ask you a question. 1 second. I want to ask you a question. It's say a person is going to go back to the days of before Moshe Rabbeinu. And I think many people had gone back already to the days before Moshe Rabbeinu. And they graze. And they mask the ganze tov. So now you're going to tell me they never eat sudas? They never make a moitze b'chasamazen? There's a difference between kinuach seuda and a snack. Kinuach seuda means a person ate a meal, and then at the end to calm down, or there's a different thing. If a person eats a seuda, he says that a pizza that Reb Shlomo Zalman says. I don't know if it's true. That Reb Shlomo Zalman said that in America. No. Regular bread. Yeah, but he says not. He says not. He says that Reb Shlomo Zalman said not. Regular dough, mit Wasser, yeah, mit Wasser. That's what I'm telling you. There's this mavuche gedoyle. Yesh omrim that all pizzas are a moitze even if it's made with milk. Yesh omrim all pizzas are mezoinas because it's a snack. I think that it's not true. If it's made with milk, then it's mezoinas. I must tell you, I met Rabbi Heller the other day and I told him my Torah and he disagrees with me, but I think he thinks there's no thing as mezoinas bread. It doesn't exist.
In 770,
he doesn't. He says, I asked him if I can get his kuntris about the bugs in the water. He said, come to my house. In the meantime, I told him I wrote a whole thing about pizza being mezoinas if it's made with milk. So he laughed. He said, I disagree. I said, fine, I'm going to bring it to you, whatever. He said, no. I said,
see him every morning and left it down.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're going to argue with him, he's not an easy person to argue with. But
he's a big man.
Yeah, but I think nishtazoi. I think if there's milk in the dough and majority.
Oh, what about pizza? What is all pizza?
I think it's mugzim. Those that say all pizzas are moitze, all are mezoinus is mugzim. If it's made with milk, it's mezoinus. Or mepedes, it's mezoinus. If it's made with water, it's hamoitzi if you eat 1 drop of it. And if you eat a quarter, whatever, kazayis, it's a small piece of a slice, then it's hamoitzi gomer, no shaila, no suffik, and no sveke.
Is it possible that he wants to be Melamed Sfus on the Yidden, that the Poil, even though thousands of Yidden know that the brachas are moitzi, but the Poil Yidden make mezainis on pizza. It's a mitzvah, and maybe it's a limit Sfus. Maybe he wants tons of kids. You have your moitzi Shabbos. Some kids make a moitzi, some kids make mezainis. Maybe you can say it's amarasis. You can say it's amarasis. I'm very doctor. Thank you very much. But there are
Okay,
people
good
that say-
limit schus,
No,
yeah.
Rabbanan
Yeah,
that
it's
say
a
the Zionist.
it's a good limit schus. But we have to know what we have to do.
Yeah, but it's not just like you want to say. It could be malam sauce on a bagel with eggs with cream cheese.
Yeah, good. No, it's a limit
Yeah, you
schus.
say
It's a
that
good limit
it's
schus.
still staying. It's not, you're not over on it. The rest of
It's a good limit schus.
It's
But
still be
Lepoil,
with the
I
mezuzah.
say it's a good limit schus. But still, I think Lepoil, what a person should do, I don't think there's any shaila by mind that pizza that's made flour and water, and one more nekuda, the Taz would hold a calzone maybe. Anyway, the Alter Rebbe paskins against the Taz. The Alter Rebbe says not to be choishish for the Taz. The Alter Rebbe says that if you have a packet with meat or cheese inside, you should make hamoitzi gomer on it bekazayis. So the calzone maybe the Taz would hold, but a pizza is not a pocket.
He said something very
So
good.
therefore, Nachmal the Maskona. Pizza that's made flour and water, it's hamoitzi bekolshu and bechazamazim bekazayis. Pizza that's made flour and milk or apple juice, then you could eat it with a boida minimum zonis. Obviously, you have to eat less than 6 kabetzim, which is maybe
They
about
say
2
2
slices, a little more maybe. And it has to be loy sava. It has to be loy sava. Depends. Some people 1 slice will be sava. Some people, I told you the other day, I was in a pizza shop. I saw 2 kids, and they ordered 2 pies. They were not cheering. They ordered 2 pies.
Wow.
Regular pies?
No, skinny tall kids.
Well, the name was their first name Papa.
And they eat it up?
Pizza Papa.
I didn't see till the end of the Gezenas again.
Yeah, but that's what happens if it's roast pig. Some stuff says
Yeah, right. Good enough. Not for Bal Nefesh.
He said, "Hi pie."
You come together with who's in the
He said that tomatoes are be'etzim sweet because they. And by the way, in America, it's not in America. In the world, the scientific definition of a tomato is as a fruit, not as a vegetable. People squeeze tomatoes. It's a very popular drink, tomato juice.
Right.
Maybe the matika of the
not just ketchup. I'm saying the sauce.
Yeah,
right.
if it ever became.
That's why the most famous topping in America became ketchup,
Right.
which is.
But it's still not a dessert.
Yeah, people
Not
don't
dessert,
make
but
apple strudel. They don't make tomato strudel yet.
Right, that's
Still not a
true.
dessert.
But they make apple juice and tomato juice. So it could be that maybe that's another story. I don't know if it's brought down anywhere, but it could be that's a minamatika. It makes the pizza be'etzim to be something sweet.
Dessert mistake. He's talking about like a...
What if they? Okay, fine. One other thing. What if they put ketchup that's sweet on their pizza?
It's still food, not a dessert.
It's a snack.
Yeah, but it's still food, not a dessert.
That's the Alter Rebbe says has to be the idun or the taina kamasikas. Right.
But where does all the Zionis come in? It's a grois amaratzis.
Right.
So it's a grois amaratzis. So why did people think? You ask any person, and you ask any from Yid in Flatbush, what do you make on pizza? Unless you're a really big machmir that all you hear all day is brisket toiris, they'll say Zionis.
He's right.
Anyone will say so. This is a total
So he
amaratzis.
says in from
Usual
pizza shops are machmir to make it taco with apple juice.
Because right, or Kingston pizzas became from now. They don't make it anymore with apple juice. They make them like
No, you don't agree?
Yes.
Don't agree?
Okay.
Okay.
They can't handle amaratzis. That's why we come here to not become amaratzis. If you leave early, then you lose some of the amaratzis.
I'm missing your Torah, but I can live with it. Have a nice day.
Atzlacha, Yonis.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I don't know more nekuda that I think that we have the Alter Rebbe Seder B'Chsananen, and I think big poskim didn't know that really the Alter Rebbe wrote it b'diuk otzim, unbelievable. We know that every word the Alter Rebbe wrote in the Seder. I think they might have thought that it's a pamphlet at the end of the Siddur, who wrote it, whatever, maybe it was like... We know that the Alter Rebbe wrote Seder B'Chsananen B'Zeknusa, and every word is gold. And you could be Medaika, Kol Ois V'Koitz.
According to the Siddur.
And that we go dafka according to the Siddur. They didn't know that. They didn't know that. I told you, the Aruch HaShulchan asked, there's a stira between the Siddur and the Shulchan Aruch. It's very confusing what the Alter Rebbe holds in this whole sugya. It's a stira. It's not a stira. Alter Rebbe changed his mind.
The Beis Din of Crown Heights allows Mazonis bagels to say in the store. In other words, if they didn't allow it, they wouldn't give it extra to the store. If you have bagels, you have a choice. Do you want a Mazonis bagel or a Motzi bagel? But they're real bagels.
No, but now, no.
Not anymore.
There's only one. The other bagel shop on Troy is all Hametzi, and the one on Kingston, only one. The plain bagel's the only one that's Mazeris. Everything else is Hametzi. Yeah.
But that's lav dafka because they're Rabbanim's policy. It could be good. The customers want. If
But
they even have one.
he has a CHK Hechsher. If they
Right.
wouldn't want it,
Right, they would not.
Parsha has the CHK.
Now, okay.
How about the
Bar shows
Adela?
okay.
Adela's wholesome bagels.
Ireland.
Does he have his owners?
Same, plain bagels. The only
And the Rabbanim allow it.
The Rabbi does.
Charaya. But Rabbi Hillel told me no. He thinks there's no shilling as
My
a
father told me one bagel's okay. No, I'm
So they
saying.
use
I'm saying.
apple juice in the
Because
bagel.
from his owners, he said, because otherwise it'd be sava.
Do you use
Otherwise
apple
you
juice in
already.
it? Do they use apple juice in it?
They
Roib apple juice has to be roib.
Right.
The mine has to be roib apple juice.
So they
The
probably
CRC, the
hechsher
Hechsher gives a hechsher to bagels to seder. They have a bill b'chom that is being zionist. And Sheilos is if everyone's makbid and making roib, even roib Paris they say it's a Sheilos, but it has to be roib Paris even.
Yeah,
But they have fire about it. Mamish. But the Babish Bakrim, you see, they're only selling
you have to be very careful.
Tuna fish and egg salad sandwiches. When the boys go home and outside sandwiches, it's ma me zainis.
But that's funny because they're only eating one sandwich, and it's not sava.
Yeah, you can't afford
It's
to
like
sell
$2.
They're expensive to
I
sell.
said if you're not going to go to
Lemaisa, the Leute Alter Rebbe sagt es ganz klar, als 100% am Moitzi Gomer Pizza. 100% am Moitzi Gomer.
Erst mal machen wir Alter Rebbe in Pass für Kisten.
Huh? No bad.
You gotta eat one of those sandwiches.
Yeah, sehr, mit der Schuring. 4 Kabetzim, 6 Kabetzim. Und der Shit ist.
Pass für Kisten.
Right.
Das ist Alter Rebbe.
Okay. Aber der Alter Rebbe ist ein größer Päuser. Ich sage, viele von der Welt. Ich sage nicht von der Lubavitch. Ich sage, der Alter Rebbe hat es geschrieben bei Zeknusse. Der sei der Bichsanen.
How many people wash, Rabbi?
I washed.
Ist... Der Alter Rebbe paskend.
You washed? Can you raise your hand please again, Rabbi, if you wash? Just do us a tell you what raise your